If you want to develop a fingerstyle technique that is fast, accurate, and that will finally help you ditch your pick, then here is an exercise you need to do every single day. There are 3 levels to this exercise which all increase in difficulty, so you can keep coming back and back to this exercise and keep learning new skills. So in this video, I'm going to show you all 3 levels of the exercise, show you how using this exercise can make playing fingerstyle technique 10 times easier, and I'll show you the best way to practice this exercise so you can build incredible speed much faster. Oh, and you can get all the tabs and notation for this lesson using the link in the description below. So what's level 1 of the exercise? Well, if you want to develop a really fast, accurate, and consistent fingerstyle technique, the first thing you need to develop is, ironically enough, something that's often left out of most YouTube tutorials, magazine exercises, and tips altogether. And that is how to properly pluck the string. If you want to start plucking strings the right way, then here's what you need to do. Get yourself in your playing position, whether that's sitting. I'm going to stand for this demonstration, and then place your plucking hand on the bass like this, ready to play. Now, it's at this point that most bass players make a really bad mistake. They curl their fingers round like this and put them underneath the strings and start picking upwards like this. Now, picking the string from underneath like this not only produces a bad tone, as you can hear, the tension from keeping your hand in this curved position like this often creates a lot of injury, slows your technique down, and it just makes the whole thing, quite frankly, a lot worse. So instead of doing that, here is what you should be doing. Take the tip of your finger, and then you want to place it against the outer face of the string like this, and then pull through to pluck it. Now, as you do this, the fingers that you're using, so that should be index and middle, should be both relaxed enough so that as you pluck through, you can see this little tiny knuckle joint here just bend back a little bit. It doesn't have to be super far, you don't have to be plucking with a lot of force. But as you can hear, this motion produces a really nice strong tone. It keeps your hand in a really nice relaxed position, and this is the correct motion for plucking the strings. Now, this is a great start to your fingerstyle technique, but I would be lying if I said that this is all you needed to know to become a great bass player. Before you can ditch your pick in favor of playing with your fingers, you need to actually lay the foundations that are going to be crucial for developing consistency, accuracy, and speed in your technique. And the best way of doing that is by studying level 2. So when you've tried to play fingerstyle before, one of the things you've probably struggled with quite a lot is actually getting your fingers to move fast enough. And to make things worse, you've probably also found that a lot of quote-unquote speed exercises don't actually increase your speed. So if you want to build fast fingerstyle technique, here's what you need to do. On your bass, you need to play the 3rd fret of the A string, the 2nd fret of the D string, the 5th fret of the D string, and then a low open A string. Now, you might not see how this is going to develop your speed right now, but hear me out on this because the next detail is really, really important. With your plucking hand, you want to aim to develop something called alternate plucking, which is using alternate strokes between the index and middle fingers to pluck the notes. However, where most bass players go wrong is they assume it's just about playing alternate strokes. And in making this assumption, they miss one of the most crucially important parts of the alternate plucking technique, which you need for building speed. Specifically, what you need to do is make sure that as one finger moves backwards like this to pluck a note, the next one actually flicks out and goes forward, ready to play the next note. So you constantly have this kind of motion going on like this. So to bring this back to level 2 of the exercise, you need to play that first C with your index finger. But as you do, you need to make sure that your middle finger extends out, ready to play the E. And as you play that, you need to make sure that your index finger comes forward, ready to play the G. As you play that, you need to make sure that your middle finger goes back to play the A, and so on. But is this scissor movement all you need to know if you want to develop fast fingerstyle technique? No. If you truly want to be fast, accurate, and consistent, you need to master level 3 of this exercise. Now, if you've ever tried to develop speed before, one thing you've probably asked yourself is exactly how should you be doing it? Now, there are a lot of exercises out there, there's certainly a lot of advice out there, and you've probably tried some of them before. Things like start with the metronome at a slow tempo, build it up, and then build the speed. And what you've probably found is that this doesn't really work. If you start to look at the technical disciplines and practice regiments of other instruments like classical piano and classical guitar, you'll see pretty quickly that they not only have set exercises, but they also have set practice methods that they use to build speed. And the best thing about them is that they actually work. So if you want to build speed in your technique, here's how you need to practice. So we're going to take our notes from level 2 of this exercise, which was this, and we're going to add a few more notes so that it becomes this. As you play through level 3, the best way to practice it is by using alternate lengths of long and short notes. So slowed down, it goes from sounding like this to sounding like this. So the reason this works is all to do with the transition between the short note and the long note. As you play through the shorter notes, you're actually practicing a quick transition from one finger to the next. So short, you are actually already playing at speed. You're just putting the longer notes in to slow yourself down and give yourself a little bit more time to stabilize your technique. So how do you go from that to building up the speed? Really, really simple. All you've got to do is just shorten the length of the long notes. So this becomes this. And of course from there you can always bump up the overall tempo of the exercise if you want. So, does this mean you're finally ready to start playing bass at breakneck speed? No. The next thing you need to know if you want to play fast is a special technique for using the different muscle groups in your hands, and if you can do that, you will unlock insane amounts of speed very, very quickly. So to learn how to do that, click on this video up here.